It's time for Chad and Wes Watch a Trailer.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chad and Wes Watch a Trailer. This is Wes.
And I'm Chad. That's different than we've ever done it. I don't like it.
What, you pointing at yourself?
Yeah, it's because you did. I felt obligated.
Because I knew it threw you off. By process of elimination, this has to be Chad.
I'm Chad.
Yeah, that's normally how that goes.
Anywho, hi everybody.
Hey, welcome.
Yeah, we're
thirsty.
drinking this time. What are we? Why?
For medicinal purposes.
Wes, why are you over here? I thought I had the week off.
You never have the week off.
This isn't my week,
You
Wes.
can't quit me. Listen, you know that when my wife goes to bed, I'm yours.
I was gonna say, 8:30 rolls around, and I'm always like getting texted. What are you doing? Hey, can I come over?
I'm bored.
It's like, well, my wife's still awake.
Everyone in my house is asleep. Oh man, yeah, we're here to watch another trailer, and it's the final trailer for Batman v Superman, which comes out. Oh Lord, what's today? In just a little bit over a month. And we are gonna get to see it early. We don't know when yet, but
That's right.
we know we're gonna get to early.
Special privileges.
Yep. Somebody found out about the podcast and reached out. No, that's definitely not it.
We are not that popular.
Yeah. Yet. Just wait.
Yeah, just think when people come back and watch this episode, they're like, "This was before they were popular." They now have 10 viewers.
And I got excited today when the Facebook page, which we'll talk about in a little bit, got a like from someone that did not have mine or yours last name.
What?
Yeah.
Are they on our friends? Like, do they know us?
Yeah, it's actually somebody from my friend's podcast.
Okay. Well, you know what? It's working.
It's
It's out of the family. Now it's into friend groups. It's gonna blow up, man.
Yeah, I was like, oh, there's 4 likes. Yep, I'm related to half of them, and Chad is related to the other half.
Makes sense. Well, okay. So a trailer came out, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Last week.
What could it possibly have to do with? Now,
Hey,
for all you people listening to the audio, I just pointed at something. Great radio, Chad.
Yeah. Oh, look at this thing. Let's talk about it, but not describe it at all for the people listening on iTunes.
So if you visit the YouTube version of this, you'll see that we have a couple of figures out, and they have to do with what trailer, Wes?
I think I already said this. The final Batman v Superman trailer.
If you did, I wasn't listening.
Oh, God.
Par for the course.
I could explain, but then I feel like we're going to end up having the exact same conversation we just had. And then it's going to end up back at, what trailer is this?
It's just a never-ending loop.
It's 45 minutes of us having the same 3-minute conversation.
Sounds about right. So, we're going to watch a trailer. We've done a number of these before, and this is the final one. Like, is this the actual final trailer?
Yeah.
Or is this like the Star Wars final trailer that was then followed by a whole bunch of other shit?
As far as I know, from the way that they said that this is the final trailer.
Okay, so we don't know. Got it.
Who knows? But yeah, we got to see it online last week, but then we also got to see it in theaters when we went to go see Deadpool last week, which was cool. I've never gotten to see a trailer debut online and then go see it in theaters the same night. So it was cool, especially since it was in big IMAX, which is how, we're going to go see the movie itself. Which I mean, for this movie is like, why would you not go see it in IMAX?
Nah, because it's not that big of a deal. It's kind of low-budget movie. Not many people are interested in it. I mean, if it's Deadpool.
Oh, God.
Just joking. No, it looks awesome.
Speaking of Deadpool, really quickly before we get into this, have you seen all the stuff about the records it's been breaking?
I haven't. I've heard someone tell me that, like, oh, it's doing really well.
Oh, yeah.
But no, man, I never look at that stuff.
Biggest rated R opening ever.
Wow.
Biggest February opening ever.
Wow.
Biggest President's Day weekend opening. So I think it did 150 million the first weekend.
So it's presidential. Got it.
It is presidential, sure. I saw somebody online put up a meme, and it had like rows and columns of other superheroes and their first movie openings and how much they did. Man of Steel, I think, was the closest one to this one, but like Batman Begins opened to like 48 million its first weekend, whereas this one, like I said, 150. So it's crazy. I think like Thor and Captain America both did like 65.
Well, Batman Begins wasn't that superhero's first movie.
Right.
Technically, its first movie was what? Well, I mean, you could go way back.
Oh, yeah, you can go
the
way back
original, but like in kind of modern times would be the 90s, right? When the first...
Yeah, 89.
Or 89, yeah.
Yeah.
The Michael Keaton one came out.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's even lower.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that was probably like $10 million
Yeah.
Back then. I mean, who knows? But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one will ever know.
Yeah, there's no way to look at this information on any of these things that we have around here.
Technology, it scares me.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Well, let's watch it.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of talk as we're going, and then we'll do our thing.
Yeah. I would say you'd have to have it queued up, but we're going to try something this week. If this doesn't work, then you need to queue it up. But we're going to try and pop it maybe right here so you can watch along with us.
If not, we'll put a link to the video that we watch in the description.
Can we put the link right here? Can I hold it, the link?
Well, I could type the link, but YouTube won't let me actually link that video.
Right. YouTube's
I know. YouTube's awesome.
YouTube's not stupid.
Thanks for letting us post things for free on the internet.
Dodge that bullet.
Man, Wes. Anyway, but no, so if I can't figure out a way to do that, or if I have any problems with that, then there'll be a link in the iTunes, the SoundCloud, and the YouTube.
Yep.
You'll be able to get to the video. But let's hit play, man.
Cool. Let's check. Queue it up. We've got it set at the 0 mark. We're watching it on an app here, so we'll get it queued up. You want to do the countdown?
Sure. 3, 2, 1, play. All right,
here we go.
The Batmoplane.
The Batmoplane. I feel like this is the most we've gotten to see, like, this Alfred be Alfred.
Yeah.
What little bit we see seems
that
pretty
is cool.
Yeah,
like that little
lift
whoop
off the plane. This is the best sequence.
Yeah. This is pretty cool.
So I think prior to seeing this, my favorite Batman fight sequence was in The Dark Knight, where he's doing like in the construction site, taking down the guys on the multiple floors.
Yeah.
But this is like takes the cake like that.
Yeah, that's
like he punches a guy so hard his face goes into the floor.
Ground. Well, every time I see a fight sequence like that, though, with guys with guns, is like, what about those guys that were obviously a little ways away? Why didn't they take a single shot while he took out the first 5? But that's every movie. Yeah. That's not just this. It's a trope I don't like.
Yeah. I like that this trailer has like a different feel to it. Like the music is not so serious and.
Why so serious?
Oh, that's another movie. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And it just bounces off of him.
There's also the superhero physics of he still would have moved. It's not like he weighs 1,000,000 pounds.
You don't know that he would have moved?
Nah. Then again, the theories of how Superman flies, is it that manipulation of gravity? You know, if he's manipulating gravity, then sure, he could stay still.
Well, and with Man of Steel, well, we can get that a little bit.
Also, that kick.
Yeah.
Or was it a kick? Did he stop a kick or he stopped a punch?
Who, Batman?
Yeah.
Well, it's coming up here in a minute.
Oh, I thought that's what that was just then.
There is a shot of him, like, I think Superman stopping a kick.
Okay.
I like that little
shoves him.
Like, just get out of here, kid.
That, yeah.
He's like, what the?
It's like, I understand. They have to make it so that Batman can stand up to Superman. But seriously, how are you going to stop that? He can rip through a building.
I'm guessing kryptonite.
Oh, so you're thinking he's depowered at that point. He's kryptonited.
Well, I wonder if maybe in Batman's suit he's got some kryptonite.
Okay.
Not enough to, like, kill him, but enough
or
to
take him
weaken
down, but he's just a little weaker than he's used to.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, and that could be how they explain it. I'm sure there'll be some sort of explanation in the movie, but I mean, like, dude, he can punch through a tank, and you're telling me your little arm suit thing that you have is standing up to his punch? Whatever.
Oh man, there's so many like little awesome moments in that trailer, and some of them go by really quickly. Like there's a shot of Batman shooting something at Superman, and like Superman just catches it.
Yep.
It's like, okay, that's the shooting in the eye thing from Superman Returns, which that was the really, really cool shot that they probably blew their entire effects budget on.
Right. It was a really cool shot, but also really weird. It's like slow motion.
Well, it makes my eye hurt.
Right. You've got something in your eye. It's a bullet.
Yeah, it's like I said, the opening fight sequence is, like I said, so far, just even watching that little bit is my favorite Batman fighting sequence in any of the Batman movies.
Right.
I don't know if you noticed, but like there's one point where he's like punching two guys at one time, and there's another guy from behind him who has a knife and like scrapes the back of his head, and you see like shards fly off or sparks fly or something like that.
So like he has a helmet that's reflecting
so
that.
Probably, I'm guessing like Kevlar or something. I don't know if Kevlar would make sparks fly if a knife went against it, but
I don't think so. But regardless, he has some sort of protection that's causing sparks.
Yeah.
I did not notice. I have not watched this as many times as you.
I have.
I've watched it when the link was sent to our little chat group, and then I watched it in the theater with you, and that's the 2 times I've seen it.
My God. I watched it before I came over here because I wanted to make sure I was prepared.
You had to finish. It's the only way I can finish now.
Yeah, but I probably watched it 8 times the first day. Again, we've talked about this. This is one of the big movies for me this year.
I know you're super excited, and I'm excited. Not as much as you.
Right.
They keep showing this scene where he's surrounded by all the people in some other, it looks like the Day of the Dead or whatever celebration.
Oh yeah,
they do. That's going to be interesting. Is like, why is he there, and why is he just standing amongst all these people?
Yeah,
that'll be interesting to see where that falls in the movie and what the story is.
Yeah, because they've not shown like any other scenes that seem like it goes with that. So either it's like just a shot they have for some reason, or who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, but that's one of the ones that kind of has a question in my mind. I'm excited to see what they do with the story. Anytime someone bests Superman, I'm always like, okay, so how are you going to explain this? Yeah. Other than, he's got kryptonite. It's like, the old go-to of like, I have what is his name? Aquaman has a kryptonite trident. Okay, so he wins.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's, depending on who he's fighting, the Superman versus Batman thing is, Batman's always going to have him in a battle of wits or, strategy. But when Superman rears back to punch him, what's going to happen?
How does he block that punch?
You can't dodge every punch Superman throws.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Superman's not putting his balls in his face. He's going to punch him.
Straight up teabags Batman. Best scene ever. Actually, that was in Deadpool. Remember when he teabagged that guy? Still my favorite. Oh, man. By the way, side note, I just watched the first movie that Deadpool appeared in.
Which really is the superior movie.
I mean, if you want to get a real flavor of Deadpool, you watch X-Men Origins Wolverine, the Deadpool story.
The Deadpool story.
the other subtitle they took out at the end.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So bad. I'm like pointing things out to Nikki the whole time, like all these horrible things. I'm like, check out his freaking claws. Look at how bad they look. How did technology get worse in the last few years?
Super laser vision.
Oh my god. Oh. And you also notice, like, when his eyes go into like laser mode, it kind of burns the skin around it and makes it look like the Deadpool mask. Like they burn in the shape of a little bit like the Deadpool mask.
I don't remember. It's whenever you text me earlier and said you were watching, I thought, man, I have not seen that in a few years. I mean, there's a reason because it's not that great,
right?
It
has its moments.
Yeah,
though.
It's not that great, but it's not awful. Like it's not. Once again, like this is going to be our go-to for a while. It's not Fantastic Four. I mean,
wait, which awful Fantastic Four? Take your pick.
Any of them, but definitely not the last one.
Yeah, which might have been the best of the Fantastic Fours that they've done because they've all been kind of stinkers.
Wait. You think the one that just came out was better than the other two?
You mean the other three?
No, the other two.
They did another one back in like the 90s, and I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
That one's terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, dude. Maybe, because those other ones were pretty bad too, dude.
I mean, they're not great, but I don't think they were as bad as this one.
I mean, Captain America as Flame Boy.
That was actually probably one of the more redeeming.
Yeah, it might have been. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
I probably need to see it again. Doesn't matter. They all suck.
Yeah. So with this one, I know you've been hesitant at best about Ben Affleck being Batman. Any change to your mood or thoughts after seeing this or anything recent that you've seen about this movie?
No, not really. I mean, it's like, I just want to hear you. I want to hear you relent on this, Chad.
I'm just curious. if and when you go to being like, yeah, I liked him as Batman, I'm just curious to see, like, does it take the full performance to do it for you, or
at this point they're showing the highlights. That's all trailers are. Trailers show the highlights. I've seen plenty of trailers that were like, oh, that was good, that's gonna be awesome, and then I go see the movie and I'm like, wow, they showed all the best parts in the trailer. The rest of it sucked.
Yeah,
I don't think they're gonna do that with this movie, and there's a chance that he's gonna be the new, iconic Batman in my mind, but he's not there yet. And I'm based on what I've seen him in movies. There's like one movie I can think of where I was like, okay, he did an awesome job. Really kind of got out of his, is Argo. Yeah. I think he did incredible in that.
Oh yeah, Argo was great.
That's one movie out of all the movies I've ever seen him in that I can think of that I'm like, wow, he did a great job. And he's taking on the mantle of a huge character here.
Oh, yeah.
That if he doesn't have an Argo-type performance, if he has, I don't know, I can't even name one of his other movies right now, and I've seen a ton of them, like all those old movies with like Mallrats and shit like that.
The Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah. What's that one? Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't have that same kind of performance that he had in Argo, then, I don't know that he's going to supplant Christian Bale for me. Well, I think Christian Bale is my favorite Batman.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
at this point.
He was great. The thing that I'm looking for in this one is, I guess, more of a, like, I get that, like, Dark Knight trilogy, they're trying to make it more realistic and grounded in reality. It's like, if it was possible to do this in the real world, this is how it would happen. And that's fine, and that's great. And I think that made it be unique and stand on its own.
Well, and Batman is a hero. He is a person that is grounded in reality.
Right.
As a hero, he's not a super-powered person.
Right.
So I think it made sense for them to do that with those movies.
Right, and absolutely. But like what I want to see now is something lifted right from the comics.
Right.
And this feels more like that. I mean, the suit...
Visually...
Absolutely.
I'm not talking about the movie from any aspect of anything but him as the actor portraying it.
Right. I think, like, when I think of people who could be, like, especially the Bruce Wayne character, like, Ben Affleck, I feel like, is a Bruce Wayne kind of guy.
I actually, him as Bruce Wayne, I see easier than I see him as Batman. Yeah. And that's weird because they're the same person, but they are very different people on purpose. Like, Bruce Wayne changes his personality greatly when he becomes Batman.
Well, and I feel like Bruce Wayne would be the tougher acting role for most people. Now for Ben Affleck, I feel like it would be more natural for him.
Yeah, pretty boy, lots of money, kind of stuck up. But I think it's natural for him.
Well, I mean, that's
just joking.
No, I mean, there are things that you talked about that, like, I mean, that's kind of like what a lot of people's opinions are. However, like, one, you have a much older Ben Affleck doing. Like, if it's Ben Affleck back in the day, yeah, absolutely. But now they're doing older, more war-worn Batman. He even talks about that a little bit. So I think it makes a lot of sense.
Once again, I don't have as much of a problem for him as Bruce Wayne as I do for him as Batman. And once again, it's weird because it's the same guy, technically. But it'll be interesting to see. Almost, I feel like some of the trailers I've seen have confirmed my fears of his range and ability to do this, because I see him when he's being Bruce Wayne as being a little bit too much like Batman. Like, he's not separating them out, so he has this clear distinction. Like, I think back when Christian Bale was being Bruce Wayne at those parties, at the party at his house and stuff like that, he was acting like a completely different person than he was when he had the suit on, and of course he did the voice and stuff too. I feel like a lot of the scenes where I've seen Bruce Wayne being Bruce Wayne, or Ben Affleck being Bruce Wayne, I feel like he's still kind of being Batman. Yeah.
Well, I think, again, complete guess, I'm assuming that part of the narrative of the story will help explain some of that, because he's been around for a while. Like, he's been Batman for over 10 years at this point, they've said. And so he's an older guy, and even like in the comics, like when you look at like Dark Knight Returns, Bruce Wayne stops being very Bruce Wayne-like when he gets to be older in age. Like, he's tired. He's just...
I don't remember seeing him being Bruce Wayne much when I read those comics. You let me borrow them recently. Yeah. And he's mostly just Batman, or he's back in talking to Alfred. And at that point, he's, being...
Yeah. There's a few places where he's Bruce Wayne. And
I always feel like with Batman anyway, the mask is Bruce Wayne. That's where he's acting. I think his real personality is Batman.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. And when you look at, so you take the Batman the Animated Series, for example, Kevin Conroy, who voiced Batman, was the first guy who did Batman as a normal voice, and then Bruce Wayne was the altered voice. So he spoke a little bit higher,
right,
as Bruce Wayne, and obviously a lot
softer. It was kind of like this, right? Hi guys,
Bruce Wayne here.
Oh, Bruce Wayne.
That's pretty much it. You could do the voice.
Man,
now.
I'm gonna go into voice acting schools.
Voice acting school.
All those things, all those syllables belong there.
No, yeah, I mean, I agree. When you talk about Batman, he's much more natural. Like, he's in his element when he's Batman.
Yeah. When
he's Bruce Wayne and he's in the boardroom or he's at a party, he's putting on a face. He doesn't want to be there. He's not a happy person. He's
right.
Like,
well,
I saw a meme one time, and it's like, I smiled once, I was 10 years old.
Yeah. Well, when you look at him, the whole story of Bruce Wayne, Batman, is he had this traumatic event that sparked him into what he became eventually.
Yeah.
So that traumatic event is what defines him, and the things that he did as a result, kind of being vengeful and all those things, like kind of going after crime. That is who he is. That's why Batman is who he is. And then you look at Bruce Wayne as who society thinks he is, who he's supposed to be.
Right.
And that's just an act to keep as his cover to keep people off him. Just like when you look at Superman, I've heard someone say, Superman's the only person that his alternate identity is actually a cover or whatever. That, Batman actually is Bruce Wayne. It's like, no,
nah.
Batman is Batman. That is who he is, at least when he's in that role. His name might not be Batman, but that is who he is.
Yeah.
Who he is when he's calling himself Bruce Wayne is the act.
And also, when you, like, for Superman, and I go back and forth, depending on the iteration and who's writing him and all that kind of stuff, but there are a lot of times where I feel like Clark Kent is who Superman is, and Superman is the mask. I mean, because
he's just holding his powers back, but you think his personality is more Clark Kent.
Yeah, I mean, because
I can see that.
That's the farm boy. That's who the Kents raised, and that's who he is as a person. He's, when he's Superman, he's upright, chest out, sometimes very stoic, but like that's not who he is.
Right. Yeah.
Because he knows he has to be that symbol, and so that symbol can't be this little hick farm boy. But as Clark Kent, he can be that.
Right.
And that's like Lois always gives him a hard time and calls him, Smallville or farm boy or whatever. Because I mean, that's who he is, and he's comfortable doing that.
Right.
But I'm not really sure how I got on this discussion, but that was good.
That's all good, man. Yeah. I mean, hey, this is what we do. We just kind of sit here and have our conversation.
Let's see. The other thing that was new in that trailer is that we haven't seen Wonder Woman talk at all yet until this one. We got to see a little bit of
women talking on film. I'm telling we better go back to the day when they just kept their mouth shut.
Next thing you know, they'll be voting.
No voting.
At least we know they won't be running for president or nothing. This is where like you put the little thing at the bottom. It's like the views of this commentary do not directly blah blah blah.
Sure they do. Why not? No. So we did get to see a little more of her.
Yeah.
Honestly, like at this point, my previous gripes were, they've given away too much.
Yeah.
This one didn't reveal that much more to me. Like, I don't feel like there was another reveal in this, at least I can think of off the top of my head, where I'm like, well, wish they had saved that for the movie.
Yeah.
They've already done that with so many things. I don't think there's anything else that they could ruin for me.
Yeah, I thought this was a really good final trailer. And not that the last one was bad. Like, I obviously enjoyed all of it, but You're right. Like, this one didn't spoil anything. Like, if you weren't hyped to see the movie, and this didn't get you hyped to see the movie, then they're not talking to you. Like, you're probably not going to go see it at this point then.
Right.
But I think there are probably a lot of people out there, and I've seen people talk online about it, that have not been super excited about the past couple of trailers, especially not the last one.
Right.
But then when this one came out, they're like, that's what I'm waiting for. And I think it's interesting because they did the same thing with Suicide Squad. So when you look at the first Suicide Squad trailer, they've got this creepy, eerie music in the background, and you're like, oh, that's fitting. There's a bunch of bad guys and that kind of stuff. And then this last one came out, and it's got Bohemian Rhapsody, and it's very reminiscent of like the Guardians trailer, and it's a lot more fun. Like, this trailer is a lot more fun. It's like, instead of everything being so super serious and like the fate of the world.
Why so serious?
Oh God, every time. It's like, hey, you just got two guys who disagree, and they're just going to slug it out, and like it's just going to be a throwdown.
Yeah. Which is like, once again, I wish they had kind of made you think that's what this movie was. You know, this is Batman v Superman, and like, sure, maybe there's some other character. So, reveal the fact that Lex Luthor's going to be in it. Great. If they could have kept wraps on everything else, think about how blown our minds would have been when we saw this movie and it was like, Doomsday?
Yeah.
What? The whole... That would have been incredible.
Yeah. I think there are more things they're not going to show us, but I don't think that there's going to be a moment like that in the movie. Like, I think that if they had...
When Krang shows up and it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover?
They're doing that right now in the comics. Batman.
I know. That's why I mentioned it.
Oh, man, that'd be awesome.
So, side note, because we haven't done the trailer for the newest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where they straight up show Krang. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just like... We all speculated that this is Krang, like from the beginning when we saw the robots coming out of the sky and stuff like that. It's like, well, now we know.
Well, yeah, we hadn't talked about. I forgot we didn't talk about that. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, Chad's gonna be pissed.
Nah, whatever.
Another thing that we've talked about with this before is the fact that Marvel keeps all their stuff in line. TV, Netflix, the movies are all in the same universe and all connected and all this other kind of stuff. And I've heard some people, and I think you probably a little bit. I know you're not very big in the DC TV shows, but I know you've talked about how you wish they were all connected.
Yeah.
I think they are starting to, and this
They're
is
trying to cobble it together.
Well, not trying to cobble it. So if you are not watching Flash, some minor spoilers. I'm not going to try and spoil it a whole lot in case you start watching it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I don't watch that much TV.
Yeah. But. So, one, Flash and Supergirl are going to cross over, which they had not set up until they made that announcement that the Supergirl show even existed in the same universe as Flash and Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow, which are like the three big shows they have on CW. And so people always wondered, because, hey, Supergirl is on CBS, like, will they even cross over?
Right.
So, yes, they are doing a crossover episode. Flash is going to come on Supergirl. And so then the question was...
Wait,
Chad.
Say that sentence again.
Nope.
What's going to happen? Who's going to do what where?
The Flash is going to make an appeance on the Supergirl TV show. You dirty-minded filthy person.
You went right there as soon as I smiled.
I'm
just faster than you. That's what he said.
Oh, Lord. But the question was, are they going to exist in the same universe? Because one of the things they've established on Flash is that there is the multiverse, which is one of the big things in DC properties, is that there's the existence of the multiverse and normally comes into play. And that's just kind of one of the things they do. And
well, I was going to say,
they're known for.
DC, all of the things happen in the same multiverse is kind of the newest thing that I'm kind of hearing.
Yeah.
Is, well, I think when... what was it? When Flash came out, they talked a lot about how there aren't people with these superpowers around, and if that was true, timeline-wise, well, Superman hasn't happened yet.
Yep.
But then if Flash is going to be on Supergirl happens considerably after Superman, so how could Superman not have existed already? And so, it's because they're in the same multiverse, and somehow Flash is coming over to her pocket universe.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. You tell me if I'm correct. Kind of the theory.
No, you're exactly right. So this last week on Flash,
I don't watch the show, but I am a nerd.
Yeah, they've been dealing with the fact that people from Earth 2 have been coming to Earth 1, which is what they consider the Flash world. They've designated themselves as Earth 1.
Of course they do, selfish bastards. No, we're Earth 1.
Actually, somebody else did say that. Like, somebody else was like, you do realize, like, where I'm from, we are Earth 1, right? And he's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, right.
And so he and somebody else goes like through this portal to get to Earth 2 because they have to go there. And while he's in there, like before he goes in, this guy who came from Earth 2, Jay Garrick, is like, don't pay attention to anything you see. And he's like, what are we going to see?
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Oh, he's like, what am I going to see? And he looks at me, he goes, everything. And it's like, oh my God, what are they going to show? And so he jumps in, and like one of the first things you see is Supergirl flying. Like it's one of the shots from her show.
Okay.
And then you see a shot of the 1990s Flash TV show.
What?
Yeah. You see
that's awesome.
You see a shot of a guy named Jonah Hex, who is going to be on Legends of Tomorrow, who they've confirmed. You see a Legion of Superheroes ring. You see a guy who's dressed up like Green Arrow, but doesn't quite look like Green Arrow, which there's some, hypothesis about who that is.
Greener Arrow.
Greener, more arrowy. He's got more arrows, and he's a different shade of green.
Did you see Deadpool? Because that would have been awesome.
He just like leans in, like, hi. And I feel like there was something else, but so between that and then also the fact that, like, I think it was on the DC Justice League special thing on TV, they made reference to the fact that, like, hey, we have a multiverse, and like this is the TV show universe, and like that's also this. Like, there's nothing stopping them from saying that, like, this is all connected. And I think somebody even asked Jeff Johns, who's kind of in charge of all this from DC, like, if this is a multiverse, could we ever see like the two Flashes interact with each other? And he's like, I'm not saying that it won't happen, but it could, because they've got this to play with. So I think it's...
Well, and you also have like Smallville. I've heard people talk about, are we going to see Smallville crossover? Yeah. Are we going to see... I mean, shoot, they could pull... Check this out. What if they had like Michael Keaton...
Oh, man.
All the Batmen. What if all the Batmen showed up? Like, all of them are kind of like... looking around. That'd be incredible.
That would actually be awesome. I saw a thing online, and somebody's talking about this, how they connected all these dots where... And it's funny because this movie Batman v Superman hasn't come out yet, but they connect all these dots where Gotham, the TV show, is in the same universe as Batman v Superman, and the Bruce that we're seeing is Ben Affleck.
So Ben Affleck as a kid is the I mean, I could see that. He's definitely, I mean, oh man, it would give more reason why there's so much more history, it seems like, with him. I don't know, man. Right. Gotham has just it lost me after a while. I was getting into it. I was watching it.
Did you stop watching it?
I stopped watching it, man.
When did you stop watching it?
I don't know. I think partway through this last season.
Season 2 for me was like it. Like season 1, I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Like it's Batman, so I'll watch it. But this past season was really what got me.
I just feel like they've thrown way too many of the villains out there.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I don't care about Gordon fighting them. I care about Batman fighting them. And Batman's a little kid. And he gets kidnapped all the time and shit. I don't care.
Dude, there was one of the last episodes that they've shown so far this season. Like, all I'm going to say is that Bruce is a badass in the episode. And I didn't think I would say that about Bruce because he does seem like a whiny kid. But there's some stuff that happens to him that causes him to like have to grow up a little bit. I think
I've actually seen it all the way through the last break, maybe.
Oh, okay.
How long ago did they show an episode?
Oh, it was before Christmas.
Yeah, I might have seen it through then because I was watching it every week when it was coming out. I'm just not invested in it.
Yeah.
If it went off the air, I probably wouldn't even notice. It doesn't have me. Now, if it was like, once again, if it was Batman, I'd probably be into it. But I just don't care that much about the characters.
It's one of those shows like when if I've missed
Gordon's love interest.
Yeah.
Deadpool got her though.
That's God. Like if I sit down every week and I've got...
How many times can I mention Deadpool in this episode? I'm wondering.
Oh my God.
Too many.
If I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it, Chad.
You try to talk. You try to throw me off with the intro. I try to throw you off with interruptions.
I remember now. If I sit down and I've missed all my shows for the week that I normally watch, and I line them up, Gotham would normally be the last one I would go to watch.
Right.
However, every time that's happened, I'm like, okay, I guess we'll watch Gotham now. And
we watch it. It's good.
About halfway through, I'm like, this is so good. Why didn't I want to watch this?
It is good. And you know what? Maybe I'm like, through the vision of history, I'm discounting.
Vision is history.
But I remember having this conversation with you and you telling me that exact thing. And I think at the time I was saying, no, it's the first one I'd watch.
Yeah. But
once again, I don't watch that much TV. But it's good. I'm going to go ahead and step back from the thing. It's a good show. It's not Batman. It's not Batman to me. It's a cop drama. That's all it really is.
If they could create a show that was kind of had some of the same storytelling elements they've got in this one, but then Batman was in it, I think it would just explode into even better.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping for are some maybe flash forwards. Whether it's something happens and then they just hint towards it and they like show us some flashes. I don't care if they even necessarily...
Which flash?
Oh, God. I don't care if they even necessarily like show Batman, at least not like a, like a scene with him acting or anything, but like something where he steps out of the shadows and you see him from behind or something, but it ties into what's going on with the story. Like, I think there's some things they could do to have Batman be in it without being in it. That would, push that along a little bit further and keep that idea that, hey, don't forget, this little kid's Batman.
Right. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I enjoy the show. I will continue to watch it. I'm sure it's set on the DVR to record, and once it's on there again, I'll start watching it.
Yeah.
But, you know what I haven't watched yet?
What's that?
Walking Dead.
I haven't watched it yet either.
It was on yesterday. I'll watch it so bad.
Maybe we should watch it.
Oh, we should watch it before you go, because Nikki doesn't watch that. She gets too scared.
I'll watch it with you. I got nowhere to be.
Sweet. Well, on that note, do we have anything else to talk about this trailer, or are we going to be done and go watch Walking Dead?
Oh, man. I can talk about this trailer for days, man. I'm so excited. Like,
I'm pumped for the movie, too. Don't get me wrong. I know I'm negative, but I'm negative about a bunch of shit. I've got my reservations, but...
I know. I didn't know you were a Native American.
I don't know where you're going with this.
You said reservations.
Now I get it. That's lame.
One thing I was thinking about whenever I was thinking about coming over here that I thought about.
Oh, this is a great sentence so far. Let's keep going with this sentence.
Shut up. Is that like, and I don't know how this happened, but this is like the year of good guys being bad guys and fighting each other. So we'll start with Deadpool, who is a good guy, but like does some very questionable things.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, he even claims not to really be much of a good guy.
Right. And then you have like the brief moment where he's like trying to fight, almost at Cyclops, Colossus. So then you've got Batman v Superman, where literally you've got two guys fighting. Mm-hmm. Each one of them kind of sees the other one as a villain.
Sure.
You have Civil War, where you've got, different teams of people fighting each other.
Right.
Where, technically one side of them is probably breaking the law if, the storyline is what they've kind of hinted at.
Sure.
Then you've got Suicide Squad, where all the heroes are villains.
Yeah, and it's villain against villain.
Right. So it's just interesting they've, 2016 has ended up being this year where all this has happened. And obviously, DC planned for Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad to happen in the same year. But Marvel didn't know what they were going to do until, everybody announced all their stuff. So I just thought it was weird that, this was the year that all that kind of came out and ended up happening. Because it doesn't happen any other year. It's just straight up superhero films every other year.
Yeah. I don't care. As long as they're superhero films.
Oh, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
No, you're complaining. You hate it. I can tell. We're going to call the production company to tell them to stop production.
This just in. Wess.
Wess? Who's Wess?
Oh, no.
Wess. Hashtag Wess.
Hashtag, how do you spell that? How do you spell the hashtag?
We'll leave it to our viewers to figure that out. Hashtag Wess.
Whatever I was going to say is no longer important.
Because hashtag Wess.
I'm not going to look at chat anymore. I'm just going to look at you guys. Even though I can't see you because I'm looking at you through the tiny camera hole.
It's fine. I think it's weird looking at you anyway.
Oh my God. The end of this podcast is crashing. I don't know what's happened.
It's all right. We'll probably find out that we have to re-record the whole thing anyway.
Wait, I see the audio is still going over there. The video is still going over here. That's twice as many things we had still running at this point last time.
This is true. And what was it that was screwed up last time?
Something.
I remember someone saying something about the website being a problem, but the audio, he's just the audio engineer. What happened to the audio last time there?
Listen, the audio engineer didn't get paid, and so...
he was on strike.
He was on strike. He's like, I'm not using any of my stuff.
Anyway. All right.
So let's
do our social media.
We've got some new stuff this week, so let's talk about that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to first start talking about the thing that I always get wrong. On Twitter, I am at cbeach512. That's CBEACH 512. You'll see it somewhere on here, and there'll be a link. Sure, right there.
On Twitter, you can find me at PaceHourW10, PASOURW10.
Yep. I also stream games on Twitch. Once again, it's CBeach512. That is a thing I do. I'm getting back into it now that I'm done working on this room.
I have Twitch, and I don't know what my username is.
It doesn't matter. If you go to mine, I follow him, even though he never streams.
I was going to say, I'm probably on with him. The podcast Twitter account is at CW Make a Podcast. Come follow us on there. We'll send out some like hints about what the next episode's going to be or what we've got coming up.
Secret.
We're not going to tell you, even though if you know what trailers are coming out, you probably figure it out yourself.
Yeah.
But anyways,
if something superheroes related is happening, that's probably our next episode.
We've got some new social media stuff happening this week. What's the new thing from you?
Oh, the new thing for me is, are you talking about YouTube? Or are you talking about the website?
Facebook.
You're talking about, oh, that's right. Is that from me? I don't know.
You did.
Whatever. So yeah, if you search on Facebook for Chad and Wes Make a Podcast, we're on there now. So we'll be utilizing that however you utilize Facebook to utilize for things.
Yeah. Hopefully to talk to you guys. That's, in my opinion.
It's a community thing? I don't like people. I'm very nervous and shy.
Well, that's why the computer's in between you and the people.
Whew.
You don't have to put pants on to do that.
I thought it was Facebook. It's like face-to-face. I didn't know what's happening.
Oh, God.
I'm old.
The technology just scares me. But no, I mean, honestly, if nothing else, then for all the social media and stuff is just for us to share with you guys what we're doing and for you to ask questions and talk to us.
Give us feedback, whatever.
That's what we'd like to do. So we've got the Facebook. We have Instagram now. We are CW Make a Podcast on Instagram. You can find us on there.
Yep. We also have a website, blog that we do, and I'm trying to keep on top of. It's chadandwes.com.
Yeah, we've been on there some this week. We've updated some of the links. You can find links to everything we just talked about on our website.
Show notes or a website, on the YouTube, underneath it in the description. All of those places.
Yeah, if you want the one-stop shop for everything, chadandwes.com is the place to go.
Yeah, it'll get you to everything.
ChadandWess.com.
Yes, links, remember. So you don't have to try to type while he's saying that.
Oh, yeah, duh, it's probably all going to be.
Right, I was going to say, Wes, we have video.
Can I hold the website again?
No, it's not going to be there. I'm going to make it anywhere that you don't put your hand. It's going to be right over here.
Throw a glass up there.
All right.
But yeah, reach out.
chadandwes@gmail.com. Yeah. That's our email.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, well, cool, guys. Thanks for coming. We will be talking to you very, very soon.
Yay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Chad and Wes Watch a Trailer.